needs of our planet were greater than she could supply. So we went beyond the reaches of our atmosphere. The new frontier offered the promise of a new beginning. But the distance gave way to a movement with no connection to the place we call home. New rules, new ambitions, a new enemy. The Settlement Defense Front built an army and broke away from the Earth with blood and violence. They aren't revolutionaries. They want absolute power. They raid colonies, take resources, and control territories by force. They use their fleet to block us from raw materials we need to survive. Their mission is to erase everything Earthborn. Today, the SDF is a war machine, ruled by its military. If a leader united that force, they would mobilize and try to take our homeland.
Similar to previous games in the series, Infinite Warfare is a first-person shooter. As the game introduces a new setting, outer space, new gameplay mechanics, such as zero-gravity environments, are included. Players are equipped with a boost pack and a grappling hook, which allow players to move in the zero-gravity environments easily. As the game is set in space, players can visit different planets, satellites, and asteroids in the solar system. Assuming control of Captain Nick Reyes, a Tier 1 Special Operations pilot, players engage in aerial combat with enemies using his transforming fighter, the Jackal. Aerial combat is not on rail, as players can freely control the Jackal with few limitations. According to Infinity Ward, both space combat and the franchise's signature boots-on-the-ground gameplay are the game's key focuses. Transition between space combat and boots-on-the-ground combat is seamless with no loading screen. Players gain access to Retribution, a central hub world. In Retribution, players can view the progression and start main campaign missions, and secondary quests called Ship Assaults, which gives them cosmetic and customization items, upgrades to the Jackal, as well as new story details. Reyes also has a wrist computer, which allows him to hack into enemy gadgets and machines such as robots. It can also be used to call reinforcements at some campaign scenarios. The game also features two new difficulty modes, Specialist and YOLO, unlockable after initial completion of the campaign. In the former mode, health regeneration does not occur without nanoshots, and weapons can be shot out from players' hands. Reyes' movement would be hindered if his legs are shot by enemies. In the latter mode, which also implements the same features from Specialist, when players die, they need to restart the game rather than restarting from checkpoints. In the multiplayer, Infinite Warfare introduces a major overhaul to the class system called the Combat Rigs. Similar to the Specialist system in Black Ops 3, there are 6 rigs in total, including Warfighter, Merc, FTL, Striker, Phantom, and Synaptic, all of which have different payloads, weapons, abilities, and playstyles. For example, the Synaptic rig is designed for players who prefer to run and gun, while the Phantom rig is suited for players who want to play stealthily. Players can also gain access to several persistent perks, known as traits, which give players advantage in combat situations. Additionally, the game retains the chain-based momentum movement system of Black Ops 3, allowing players to perform thrust jumps, sliding, and wall running. The game features hundreds of both primary and secondary weapons. Players can gain access to several types of weapons, including traditional ballistic weapons and melee weapons, futuristic and energy weapons, and different kind of grenades, such as the Seeker Grenade and the Black Hole Grenade. Players can add attachments on them to enhance their efficiency. The game also introduces a new weapon crafting system. In a multiplayer match, players earn salvage points, which can be consumed to purchase prototype weapons, variants of existing in-game weapons. For each gun, there are 4 types of prototypes, classified into 4 groups, namely Common, Rare, Legendary, and Epic, all of which grant players gameplay advantages known as the gun perks. Score streaks return in Infinite Warfare for players who have earned sufficient points in a match. Score streaks offer players perks such as the ability to deploy UAV and counter UAV, and the ability to summon an RCA robot, an armored robot designed to defend the player and kill other opponents. In Zombies, the game also features a cooperative multiplayer zombies mode, which has its own gameplay mechanics and story, separate from the campaign. The mode is designed to be more accessible to new players with new features such as sharing points and team buy doors, as well as keeping the core gameplay of the mode intact, such as perks and power-ups. A new feature, Fate and Fortune cards, is introduced similarly to the Gobblegums in Call of Duty Black Ops 3. The cards offer temporary boost in-game to the players, but unlike Gobblegums, they are activated through point earnings, and players can select any of the 5 cards they have equipped at any time, not one at a time like the Gobblegum machine. After initial use of 5 cards, players can refill their card deck for a price up to 2 times in a match. Unlike the campaign and multiplayer modes, Zombies is not themed in space combat and retains the normal movement system.
Reaper, we're 9D. Moving to the armory.
Copy. Be advised. SDF is almost inside. Operation Riot cannot succeed. Once the weapon is secure, I can activate the self-destruct sequence.
Copy.
Contact! Go loud!
Keep us moving. Stay alert, we're not clear. Line them up!
Target's down. Well, we're off the time and close to bingo fuel. What's your status?
Moving on target now. Exfil in 6 mics. Out.
Weapons on the other side. We beat him to it.
Sights, crashing.
All clear. Jackpot. Got eyes on the ball.
Reaper, we're inside the armory. Moving to secure the weapon.
Copy 1-1. Weapon is in the vault. Once it's secure, I'll initiate the self-destruct sequence.
Roger.
F-Spark prototype.
Put it up, Sipes. We're gonna need it.
Raj, I'll need time. Here, Wolf. Compact bottle. Same tech. The riot operation, we're after this. There's 50+ infantry machines inbound. You need to get out of there now.
Copy, we're Oscar Mike. RV in 5. Clock's ticking, let's move! Go on!
Yeah. Whoa!
What need that?
Coming to you. Get him up, he needs that. Catch your breath, trooper.
Edward Koch. Gun destroyed. Data retrieved. Initiating Raya.
How many did you come with?
Worried.
What about the airship we shot down?
My men need medical.
You care about your men? Cloud's judgment. That is why you cannot win. This place isn't yours anymore. Kill me. Save the bullets.
What is Raya? Unclear. Helmet cam stopped transmitting. It's been 18 hours, no contact. Set def's made no demands.
Settlement Defense Front doesn't make demands. They planted a flag in our rock. They executed 3 men and shot down a pilot.
Our team was sent to secure classified weapons from a closed facility.
That facility is a black site, Admiral. Why the hell is SetDef allowed in that airspace?
By permission of the Accords, all nations have access to
Sir, that objective required a full strike force, not a 4-man team.
Lieutenant Reyes, I implore you to use diplomacy in this office. Take a different tact.
Yes, sir. Who else knows about this?
Right now, Joint Strategic Air Command and you.
This is a deliberate act of aggression, Admiral. We should be out there on patrol, not down here throwing confetti.
The rules of engagement prohibit definitive action under these circumstances.
So we stand by with our barrels in the sand and we watch a Fleet Week parade?
Lieutenant Reyes, make no mistake. My instincts, which are aligned indelibly with your own, are that we need to engage.
Why don't we, sir?
They're politicians, Reyes. They'll wipe hell's ass with whatever flag keeps the smokestacks burning. To these men, the idea of mounting an offensive triggers a fresh and unplanned piss. Until there's war, the warriors aren't in charge.
But sir, by the time there's war, it's too late. Hesitation is a hole in the head. You drilled that into us relentlessly in flight school. Work the problem, respond.
You were always a fast learner, Lieutenant. Stratcom is well aware of our grievances. At this time, no use of force is being considered on an operational level. These are the laws of war, son.
Thank you for the briefing, sir.
Admiral Rains, E3N is in position on the roof.
Thank you, Petty Officer.
What is E3N?
Go take a look for yourself. I think you'll be quite impressed. Dismissed.
How many?
4. KIA.
Europa?
Front was already there. Took out the whole team. Looted the site.
Son of a bitch. This Felice stuff is nonsense. We should be up in our jackals flying watch.
Admiral doesn't disagree.
Captain Alder, no?
Negative. Today, Retribution isn't a warship, it's a parade float.
Whole fleet here in Geneva? Doesn't seem right.
We do this every year, Salt.
Well, let's not miss the party.
After you, Lieutenant.
Thanks, Slick. Come on. We'll take the scenic route.